Welcome to the Art of the Day portion of our video art week. We're going to start off with a presentation on Ryan Trecartin by Daniel Bendick. Ryan Trecartin is a video artist and a sculptor. He is 39 years old, born in Texas and raised in Ohio. As a child, he was very interested in performance art and would build sets and costumes, write music, and dance and act with his friends. He studied at the Rhode Island School of Design, graduating with a BFA in 2004. Trecartin received the New Artist of the Year award from the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum. In 2009, he received the world's largest juried individual fine art prize awarded by Tyler School of Art and was awarded a Pew Fellowship in the Arts. A family finds entertainment. The video artwork released in 2004 focuses less on its story than a fast-paced blur of events. Critic Arthur Lubbow evaluates it as somewhat incomprehensible, strangely mesmerizing, and overstimulating to the point of exhaustion. I.B. Area. The videos of Ryan Trecartin catapult viewers into a hallucinogenic alternate reality in which cybernetic avatars run amok, presenting themselves with gleeful sass as they play out a complex web of melodramatic fictions. Trecartin's visual works are spontaneous and nonlinear, rushed, and visually overwhelming. He also creates sculptures that fall into the genre of contemporary art. Here's one of his sculptures called Mango Lady. This is funny. I haven't seen this before. Mixed media and mango peels. Crafts from I Smell Pregnant, 2006. So these are like props in a video that he did. Wood, plastic, resin, styrofoam, clay, board, printed paper, canvas, and found objects. Fence and Fraternal. Two Companies, One Bed, 2008. Her Puffy Poof. This is a strange sculpture. Field Walker, 2015. Game Ampersand, 2015. I like that gaming chair is part of the artwork. American Honey. Site Visit, 2014. Installation, sculptural theater with 6-channel movie, 5.1 soundtrack and multi-channel sound installation. Total duration, 49 minutes and 24 seconds. 3D animations with Rhett LaRue. I've seen Ryan Trecartin's videos a couple times, and I've only seen them in installations like this. Mother, 2006. Sculpture, mixed media. It looks like paper mache. I like that. That also looks like paper mache. Abraham with the Long Arm, 2006. Trecartin is best known as a video artist, although he has worked in sculpture, installation, and photography. His films, which blend sitcom-esque performance art with hypnotically garish digital collages, are confusing in the extreme. Try to decode a plot from the tempest of signs and signifiers, or attempt to read character in any remotely Freudian sense, and you'll end up with a headache. My advice, just roll with it. Let the images jitter by and pay attention to the way your brain responds. It's good advice. My personal opinion. In regards to his sculptures, the simpler constructs are always more interesting and visually appealing to me. I personally liked Fence and Fraternal and her Puffy Poof, but the rest of his sculptures seem as though Trecartin went to a dollar store and picked out a random garbage to glue together. His work is chaotic on purpose, but I do not see any harmony despite that. A lot of his sculptures are distasteful, which is also true for his performance art. I watched the video, A Family Finds Entertainment, in its entirety and almost went into epileptic shock, despite not even having epilepsy. If you rely on chaos and a fast-paced, non-linear storyline, your video should be tied together by a larger point. If the point was to shut down everyone's brain when viewing the videos, then bravo, we are all capable of doing that. I have the capacity to have existential, nonsensical conversations with my friends while filming a banana decomposing in the foreground too. Well, you said it. That's definitely an opinion, and I agree with you in a lot of ways. Uh, and maybe a lot of the class does. Do you remember when we watched a Ryan Trecartin video in the lecture? This is not to say Trecartin is talentless. However, his sculptures and videos have taken hours and hours of work, and making a living with a BFA is no easy feat. The average salary is around $50,000 a year, $4,166 a month before taxes. If Trecartin can finally support himself with his works, then there must be something unique about him. In any case, my ultimatum is that his work does not fit my worldview of aesthetic and interpretation of what art should be. If he focused less on making the sculptures crude and disgusting, maybe I would appreciate them more. On the other hand, perhaps this is why he is successful in his field, because he is unafraid to push the boundaries of art and filmmaking. If A Family Finds Entertainment sold for $80,470 at an auction in 2014, then either I am wrong about my critique or the world of art is beyond redemption if people buy visual seizures for the price of a condo. All right. Well said. Thing. That's funny. Well, perhaps you guys agree. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'd like to hear about it. All right, let's talk about The Art of Chris Burden by Stella Mastropaolo. Chris Burden is an American artist born on April 11, 1946 in Boston, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, he passed away on May 10, 2015 at the age of 69 due to cancer. Chris was interested in the staging of spectacle and the ways in which art could complicate one's understanding of the material world. In 1971, Burden went to the University of California where he earned his MFA, where he studied under the artist Robert Irwin. Chris became popular in 1970 with his piece, The Shoot, when he had his friend shoot him in the arm with a rifle in an 8-second video. Criticisms. One of the 3 most important artists to come out of Los Angeles. Random critic. Okay. He would find the most extreme expression of a particular medium. Burden was in no way aligned with, and indeed may have unintentionally anticipated, punk rock. He seemed a kindred spirit of that edgy, cartoonish musical movement. There was always a sense of danger. I can see that, actually. Some viewers and critics found Medusa ugly. Others found it full of meaning, including the Times. All right. I'll have to see that artwork. My opinion. I personally love Chris Burden's art. I love the way his art always means something. I also love how he takes dark turns with some of his art because that shows us that the world is not always good. Although I find it a little crazy that he shot himself and nailed himself to a car, but I also find that really inspiring. He found every way to express himself, even if it caused pain. I think his art really meant something, and he made them to mean something because they all have to do with how the world was in the 1970s that he didn't like and tried to change it or show the world in a way they don't see it. So this is the shoot where this was 1971, towards the end of the Vietnam War, and Chris Burden stood there as his friend, who was a sniper in the Vietnam War, shot him in the arm. And this is Chris Burden crucified to a Volkswagen Bug. Like literally crucified. Nails through his hands. This is a sculpture he did of different lamp posts in 2008. Metropolis, 2011. This is a big, large track for toy race cars. Hospital Ship, 1992. I am not familiar with that piece. Or the 747 card, 1973. Not familiar with either of them. You remember the TV commercials that I showed you? Covered bridge. This, I believe, was made out of like a toy erector set. All these little metal pieces that back in the day kids used to be able to build structures out of. Submarines, 1987. I think these are all toy submarines hanging from the ceiling. Uh-oh. All right, Art of the Day, Pippilotti Wrist by Camila Ruiz Roman. Who is Pippilotti Wrist? Pippilotti Wrist is a Swiss visual artist, born as Elizabeth Charlotte Wrist. Got her nickname after the novel Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. Born June 21st, 1962, she's 58 years old, in Grabs canton of St. Gallen, Switzerland. A photograph called I've Only Got Eyes for You, Pin Down Jump Up Girl. Pippilotti Wrist studied commercial art, illustration, and photography at the Hochschule für Angewandte Kunst in Vienna, a school in Austria. Studied video at the Institute of Applied Arts, School of Design in Basel, Switzerland. She's best known for video art, and you could describe her as being a feminist or having being part of feminist art. She played drums and bass in an all-girl rock band, Les Reines Prochains, The Next Queens. So here's a picture of an audiovisual installation, 2014. It's still from a movie. I'm Not the Girl Who Misses Much. Wrist is most known for her vivid and colorful art. She explores the female body, mostly her own, in many of her pieces, and her art is considered to be feminist art. Most of her art is video art. Her work was a short film called I'm Not the Girl Who Misses Much, where she was singing a line that was altered from a Beatles song. We all come out from between our mother's legs, from there that we first see the light of the world. Rist has been recognized because of her feminist art. Although she says she is one, she also explains that she is not. She wants a young guy to understand her art just like any other woman would. Her piece, Ever is all Ever is all over, where a woman runs around and destroys things, inspired the music video for Beyonce's Hold Up. Many view this piece as a powerful feminist statement. That's interesting. Woman smashing a window with a crowbar. It's impossible for artists to accept compliments. Many of Rist's pieces are very intimate and can even be considered erotic. She likes to explore with human connection and intimacy. She believes that women do not want to be pornographic material, but they want to understand and see the connection between two people during these actions. Pickle Porno by Pipilati Rist. Digital video still on aluminum, so it printed out. Critics review. Vanessa Grabner reviews Rist's work, describing it as aesthetic work that translates into feminism, body politics, and sexuality. While Grabner praises most of her art, she criticizes some aspects of it, such as the repetition of aesthetics and motifs becoming stale. She describes that the issue with this is that the repetition of these symbols, primarily the fragmented bodies, seem like a fetish instead of a subversive statement. In other words, some of the meaning is lost when some of the design choices are often repeated throughout. Grabner also offers up another point criticizing one of Rist's most popular works, Pixelwald, Pixel Forest. Talking about how, while it lived up to expectations, it did not add more or break down Rist's work. Grabner believes that Pixel Forest is more concerned about fulfilling the wishes of Instagram artists rather than spreading a message of breaking down the different aspects of Rist's pieces, such as her politics or her use of humor in her work. My opinion on Pipilati Rist's work. Seeing some of Rist's images and video work has been a very interesting experience. I usually do not research or view art of this type. I think that her art has a lot of potential, but it's personally not my cup of tea. I've seen a few of her pieces that have caught my eye and that I've really liked, such as Pixel Forest or a video still from Judenim Tishtretin Vir. We step to your table. I think some of her art is very interesting, but some is not for me. I feel that her video art is a bit strange and unsettling to me at times, and I can't relate to the politics that she likes to express in her art. That's fair. These are the sources. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you. All right, so that's it for the Art of the Day presentations. If you haven't already watched the lecture, do that, and then take the quiz.